Hi guys, James here. Today I'm doing a video about what's going on with the riots. I'm going to do a series of political videos, but I'll still be doing my other stuff. This is going to be a series of stuff I'm doing. As you know, every day there's riots in Portland and Seattle. This has been going on for 60 days in Portland and for years in Seattle. This is nothing new. The reason it happens in these states, in the Pacific West Coast, is because of weak government. Because progressive mayors, progressive governors, and progressive city councils have allowed this to happen. They say it's fine, they're not doing anything. So they've been fighting the police in Seattle for years, for no apparent reason, because they're police. Not because they did anything, but because it's the thing to do. It's what you do when you're anarchists. But actually they're not anarchists anymore. They're domestic terrorists. When you go to the game bringing full combat gear, metal shields, mortars that shoot stones and bottles, and explosive devices, you're not there to protest, folks. They're there to kill. That's domestic terrorism. We need to call what it is. And these leaders, and Ted Wheeler of Portland, what a moron. He went out there to try and become the Caesar, and what happened? They told him to go screw. Guess what? He had police bring him in and out. They didn't want to hear his crap. It's not about George Floyd. There was people who protested about George Floyd. In Seattle yesterday, people protested about George Floyd. It ended at 4 o'clock. It was very peaceful all day long, never issue. Then all of a sudden, the night crew came in. The reason they come in at night is because obviously they wear dark clothes. You can't identify who they are properly, so they attack at night. Makes sense. Absolute sense. That's how you do it. But they're not there to hurt themselves. They're there to take down America. They go to weak cities, weak governments like New York City, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Louisville. Now they're in Austin. They've been all over. In Colorado, Aurora last night. Doing the same thing, burning courthouses down. These aren't protesters. These aren't Black Lives Matter. In Louisville, you had a group called Fuck Them All or something, versus a group of right-wingers, they call them, because they're white people with guns. They call them right-wingers, which are really, you don't even know. But this group of black guys is a group that came there armed for one purpose only. Even Black Lives Matter disassociated themselves from this group because of the violence. It has nothing to do with their message. This is how bad they are. So what happens in Louisville? The Fuck 'em all gang. Guy discharges his gun, shoots 3 of his own people by accident. Yeah, this is a problem, folks. Real problem. And we need to wake up. We need to wake up. What's going on in Portland is just the beginning. It's the Pacific Northwest, it's Seattle, it's going to be the Oregon and Washington are going to be taking over, because they don't do anything. Ted Wheeler is a total moron. The governor of Washington ran for president and didn't even get 5 votes. He left the city. He didn't have he was under 0%. That's how bad he was. He wanted to be president. The guy's an idiot. And the governor of Oregon, another idiot. See, the problem here is the Democrats don't condone it. They don't condone it. They say, oh, it's peaceful. No, the media shows all these peaceful people. Ha ha ha. Then they showed the police fighting back, and then they shout, look at the police. They're the ones causing the problem. No, they're not. Remember, once again, you bring weapons to the battle. You're not there for peaceful purposes only. We need to wake up. There's a whole problem here, underlying problem. Bernie Sanders ran against Joe Biden. Joe Biden won because people didn't want Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders is a communist, a Marxist. So all of a sudden, Joe Biden, what does he do? It takes the Marxist platform, Joe Biden's platform, Bernie Sanders' platform. So there's a whole bunch of Democrats, a whole bunch of Republicans. There's a bunch of pissed off people in America that don't live in Seattle and don't live in Washington State. They don't live in Los Angeles. They live in suburbs, are hardworking Americans that are pissed off. They see this going on every day. You think they're going to vote Democrat? Because not one Democrat puts this down. They say, it's dandy. It's here protesting. They don't put it down. It's happening. It's happening all over, and nobody cares. No one seems to care. So if you're a Republican, you're a fascist. But they're called stormtroopers by Nancy Pelosi. What a piece of crap. The only ones dressed like stormtroopers appear to be, that's right, the protesters, Antifa. Yeah, that's right, Antifa. Guess who supported them? CCP, the Communist Party of China. and George Soros Open Society are funding these groups, getting them the money, and hopefully the government will finally shut these people down, block their websites, okay? Freeze their bank accounts. You have people going to protest, delivering weapons. We saw it down in Atlanta or in Chicago last weekend. It was on video. A drone caught it, somebody doing it. So we know this is what they do. We saw it in New York also, a guy bringing baseball bats. So these protests are going to continue because the government is fighting back. I believe what we should do, and a lot of people will disagree with me, is leave Portland. Let them take the courthouse, burn it down, whatever they got to do. Because then it's on the Democratic governor, Democratic mayor, that the cities are out of control. You can't say it's us. Yeah, they'll say it's a win for them. It'll be a minor win, but it's better. A good general knows when to pull back, and then come back and fight harder the next day. That's what you got to do. Leave Portland. Let them burn the courthouse down. Let them burn other buildings down. Let them do it, because it only looks bad for the Democrats. This is a good way for Trump to win if he wants to win. He's got to pull out of there. Sending more troops, or not troops, I'm sorry, police, Homeland Security, or CDP people. No. Take them out of there. Take them out. You should just pull them all out, let them burn the place down. Then you can blame the mayor and the governors of the Democratic Party. Joe Biden doesn't put it down. Nancy Pelosi doesn't say anything negative about what's going on. They think it's perfectly fine. We've seen the Democratic cities are all terrible. Terrible. All the progressive cities, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle, New York City, Chicago. It goes on and on. Austin. Oh my God, it's terrible. All these cities are terrible. High crime rate, high drug usage, quality of life is terrible. Who wants to work there? No one. No one wants to work in New York City anymore. We have 10 shootings a night there and 4 or 5 people die a day. But the mayor says, oh, it's all because of coronavirus. Yeah, maybe some of it is. But you know what? People shoot and kill because they want to shoot and kill. Do you know in Chicago, there's 117,000 gang members, 55 gangs. You know how many police there is in Chicago? 12,000. So let's defund the police. This is the stupidity of the progressives. The biggest problem we're in an election cycle for president. And there's a whole lot of people don't like Trump. I'm not the biggest Trump supporter, I gotta tell you that right now. I'm an independent voter. I left the Republican Party after 40 years and became independent because I couldn't stand the stupid tweets that this guy does all the time. But there's no way in God's earth could I ever vote for a moron like Joe Biden. I'm telling you right now. The man can't come out of the Batcave. The man has issues. I worked in long-term care for 10 years. 10 years. My ex-wife has been in there for 30 years in long-term care. This guy has dementia. I worked with Alzheimer's patients. I've worked with all these different people. Helped feed them. I've been there. And it's terrible. How anybody could vote for Joe Biden. The man, but he doesn't say anything. Everything that's played to him is on a teleprompter or whispered in his ear through an earpiece. And he doesn't say anything negative about what's going on because it helps him. But you know what? It doesn't. There's so many Democrats out there that are so angry that are turning their backs on the Democratic Party right now. First it was Sanders, now it's the out-of-control Democratic cities, the violence. That's what determines everything, people. Violence. This is not protesting, this is violence, domestic terrorism. Until you wake up, America, you're going to suffer. Okay? This is spreading throughout the country. Pretty soon it may be in your town. I live in the suburbs, okay? People are flying flags. Yeah, there's some Black Lives Matter signs, but there's people who have flags, the blue line. People posting the American flag that give a crap are hardworking people who pay for their own education, pay for their children's education, work their whole life, and they don't want to see it being pissed away by a bunch of terrorists. Antifa is a terrorist group. What's happening in Portland is being done by domestic terrorists. Okay? There's no other way around it. People don't like it. Who wants to go to Seattle or Portland? What businesses? Oh, you know what? That's right. Seattle has Starbucks, and guess what? Jeff Bezos lives there too. That's where Amazon headquarters is. Yeah, I guess Jeff Bezos probably has armed security, as does Bill Gates, as does any executives in that area to protect themselves and their family from these people. Because guess what? They're going to be going to their houses now too. Because now they're going after people going to their houses. They're posting addresses of police officers and government officials so people can go and harass their family members. So what is it going to take? A wife or a child being murdered by one of these people? Wake up, America. Wake up. Have a good day.